Welcome to The Honest Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob. Welcome, The Honest Wargamer, subsidiary of whatever Val isn't in charge of. That's. I've been waiting on that joke all day. Pete, thanks for the chuckle. I was like, will Pete chuckle? Will Val?
I did a little bit.
Hello, I'm joined by two wonderful human beings. The gorgeous Mr. Val Heffelfinger.
That's this guy.
That's that
Well,
guy.
squeaky chair. Sorry, everybody. Squeaky chair.
No sunglasses today. Why are we not repping?
Shit.
I'll
He got the
yourself.
visor
My
on
image.
early. He's good.
My image. What
And,
just happened? Oh, wow. Someone just gifted a bunch of subs. I've never seen this live happen before.
You've never seen it. Thank you to Nurgle Matthew for donating 10 gift subscriptions in the chat. That's his a 40th set of gift subscriptions in a day. We think he's won the lottery, so
That's a
very
simp
much
thing.
appreciated. Yeah, that's
Wow, Rob. You got a simp.
that's okay. You're not allowed to say that on
Hot
Twitch.
tub simp.
Actually,
Not allowed?
not allowed. Not allowed to say that
Oh.
word. It's one of the banned words.
The button.
When did this happen?
When the Wehrmacht took over, I think. Not a banned
Oh.
word.
See, that's also, just for the record, not a subsidiary of things I look after. Just so you know. Wehrmacht, Val Heffelfinger, different things.
Different thing.
I don't know. It's pretty close.
Whew, so glad I got these sunglasses. They're not really sunglasses. I think if you wear these in the sun, you get cancer of the eyeballs faster.
They're not useful, I think, for blocking anything. Oh, no, I've left notifications on. Right, I'm thrown off this morning for the start. Pete, Nurgle Matthew, thank you for the gift subscriptions. You missed some great preamble, by the way, in the countdown. We're probably just going to repeat it in a moment. Also, Pete's here, the Falcon. How you doing, bud?
Living the dream, bud. Living the dream. Little sleepy, but just living. As
Good.
always.
Good. We noticed you've got a fab new haircut.
I do. I got a real quick get her done at the D-tier hair salon in High Level, Alberta, because everybody else was busy. They were shutting it down Sunday at midnight. So I went in Sunday at 1 o'clock and was like, hey, I really need this haircut right away. No,
I need this.
we'll get you done. We'll get you done, boy. They said it just like that too.
So are you implying that that you guys are going into another heightened sense of lockdown?
Yeah, we did.
God damn.
Which, I mean, I don't notice the difference, but
How is COVID even getting there? You're in the wilds of northern Canada. It's 8 hours
Blankets.
to the
Hudson's Bay blankets, actually. They still
Wow.
take that trick.
That's a deep cut.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah,
That's a real deep cut.
There's someone at home right now who loves history. Like, ooh,
How does Rob?
Yeah.
How does Rob know that bit? Do you know that the British kill people with measles blankets?
they did it all over the world.
I didn't know that. I thought that was
They
just
did it
Canada thing.
here. That's how Nottingham got the way it is. That's why our teeth are all messed up. Here's your blankets.
Do you ever meet a guy in a red jacket and he offers you a blanket? Do not take the blanket.
Ever.
It might be nice. It might be nice.
It might be nice. Well, thank you both for being here today. Appreciate you. Thanks everyone for joining live. Thanks to all the people listening on the podcast, all the Hydro homies, and of course to all the YouTube thugs. So pretty aggressive nowadays. A lot of comments on the YouTube, so appreciating that. Thanks.
I've never read a YouTube comment, but I just assume.
You have read a YouTube comment. One of them clearly called you out the other day because you said to all of the people. Yeah, you said to everyone on YouTube, "Fuck you." Your exact words. I hate you.
And
I didn't say I hate you. I said,
quote,
please don't hate Rob. I was defending your honor as a white knight would.
Yeah, you can say that, I think.
I don't like this being censored business. What is going on?
Well, well, I mean, talk to Val. That's his department. Him and the Wehrmacht, I think.
I've already covered this. No relationship. I don't know where this rumor's been coming from, Rob.
Okay, so if everyone can make sure we don't in any way conflate Val, the FLG, and the Wehrmacht together. See, I said don't do that, Val, so they won't. That's really important.
That's good. I appreciate
Put
that.
these little crackers away because we shouldn't be eating. Anyway, continue.
I mean, in 40k news around the world, but I haven't even asked you how you are yet. Val, how you been? What's been going on? No, what's happening with the FLG?
Well, slowly making progress. hopefully we'll actually have a network in a few weeks. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. This is the problem. I'm good with the ideas, Rob. The ideas are great. They come fast, they come furious, and then the whole doing stuff thing. I just sort of depend on the kindness of strangers. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know. Isn't it already a network? I'm confused. For anyone who isn't aware, the Frontline Gaming Network is a collection of podcasts and/or TV shows under an umbrella corporation that is in no way connected to the Wehrmacht.
We're literally down to one show.
I think some networks
Goring would never let this happen. We only have one show, so that's an even bigger sign that we have nothing to do with the Wehrmacht.
I've just marked that so I can put that up as one of our Twitch clips of Goering would never let this happen.
Oh no!
That's your own fault. You said it.
I hope that you use that for your gift sub, noise or whatever. Like whenever someone gifts a sub.
Someone subscribes.
Yeah.
You can have that for the 40k Stat Center when you re-emerge if you want. Just every time they subscribe.
I
Goering
might not
would never let
re-emerge
this happen.
now. Appreciate that, Rob. It's been a good run. I guess I'm pretty pleased with just doing this indefinitely. That's good. It's been good for a year. Why not another year? Sure.
Let's keep going.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? What's the worst that could happen? I could just be clipped saying horrible things. All right, restilling old man jokes.
Big shout out to Diagnosis in the chat. Big love to you. Really nice to see you again. And everyone for tuning in live. Yeah, what has happened? So there was so what show is left on the Frontline Gaming Network?
Just the original. It came from nothing, and it's back to Signals. So it's just all Signals from the Frontline, which is Reese.
Really, the best produced
really
of the shows
one
anyway.
Guy. It's just Reese, sort of reading Warhammer Community at this point, and you know, it's a good base. It's a strong base, I think, to just build up again from.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little crooked, uneven, you might say.
It's a squeaky floorboard of a base, but you know, it's fine. We'll be fine.
Yeah, concrete quite hasn't settled yet, but we just
you guys have got it. Like
there.
when everything's back in 40k Stat Center, I'm sure there's a host of new events, new shows coming, so that'll be fun.
I hope so.
I'm personally looking forward to it. I think it's going to be good. I was, season 2 of Game Changers should be coming soon, says Born Again Manchard. Oh, yes. That's true. And that is Game Changers on the FLGN?
Yes. Well, it won't be, it'll be an affiliate show. So we'll run ads and stuff on it, and it'll have its own feed, like a big boy show, as opposed to how the FLGN's been run, where everyone's sort of crammed together on one conga line of podcasts. We'll actually have people on dedicated feeds and stuff, so it's good. Hey, no, he's sticking around. Steve Joel's he's hanging in there. He's not on it for now. He's core content, but yeah, he'll be coming back when we relaunch everything.
Steve Joel is maybe setting up as a rival. Big gossip there. That's
Who knows?
Important. His
Who
rage against the Wehrmacht, one of the reasons he's leaving, potentially, or not. Who knows?
Those Anzacs, they have a history of that. I understand.
Falcon, I don't
Hello.
want to talk about the Drukhari stats, so I'm going to ask you how you are, and then if you want to mention the Drukhari stats, feel free.
Is this like a South Korean or North Korean prisoner situation where I'm supposed to like Morse code out what's happening? Like,
blink if there's an issue.
I don't know Morse code, so the best I can do is blink because my eyes hurt. I mean, I personally am doing great. The Warhammer 40k overall meta isn't. Drukhari are now 10% of the meta instead of 6%. So they jumped up a little over 150%. Their win rate did go down. The meta adapted. They went from a 70 to a 69.
Nice.
Yeah. So 69.6 or something like that. So they're real close to being just not an issue. They 35% of all top fours since they came out. So holding steady. 35% of all T-Whip, holding steady strong there. But fixed.
That was like that. If I do recall correctly, that's like maximum ceiling of Iron Hands. I remember that's when I was like, they're going to 40. Which I don't even know if mathematically is possible.
Yeah, when Iron Hands were at their peak, the best they did, not counting like the one Brohammer weekend, they were at a 70% win rate, and well, they had a 75 with the mirror
I'm talking about
removed,
T-Whip.
which is what Drukari are, and they had 35% of T-Whip.
Yeah.
Which is
Fair.
just for everyone to be clear at home, the Drukari Menace sitting at 70% is horrific. I'd like to
69. It's fine.
And what's their
69.
It dropped 1%. It's not 70 anymore, so it's okay.
and what's their
Okay.
share of the meta?
It's gone up 150%, 10%.
Yeah, it's at 10 right now. They're averaging 9 since the book dropped. They were at 3 before the book dropped. They started at 6 right after book, and now they're at 10.
Can I ask a question? Like, for the people out there who might not understand, my friends in nursing homes, whoever might be listening to the show in any way. The 69's not great, especially when you add in new people. So when you have a 150% increase, you would expect that to drop a lot because the skill base generally tends to bottom out because 10% of the meta isn't competent as like top table gamers, let's say. And so, because we had can we shout out our friend? What's his name? Oh, we don't shout him out. We had some fairly new players go 4-1 at least at events.
This is the only good. These are the only stories that are good that come from moments like this because I think it's great.
I mean, Matthew Casey at the Cool Place GT, 35-person GT in Georgia. He went 4-1. He got to the top table. He 4-0'd. He beat some really good players, too. He beat Seth Oster, who's one of the better Orc players in North America. And he beat Stephen Mitchell, who had been undefeated against Drukari with his Beasts of Nurgle list. Beat them both to get to the top table. Played John Lennon. He was third in the ITC, arguably one of, if not the best player in the world. But I mean, like I said, arguably, don't get your knickers in a knot if you think otherwise. Who brought a list, an Ultramarines list he'd kind of cooked up that he feels has like an amazing chance at beating Drukari if it goes first, and like 50-50 if he goes second. And he went first, and killed all 6 of the poor guy's raiders before he got to do anything. Still ended up having a close game. I'm like big ups to this guy. Apparently he did play very well for a guy who'd never been to an event before.
Do you think maybe he was a TTS guy? Maybe he's been training.
But I mean, Keith Berry from California is a big TTS guy. Does very well in their events, and he's like a 2 and 3 performer so far in GTs. In real life, because like terrain and stuff don't quite match up to how TTS plays, right? So
there was a sweet ass just to talk on terrain a little bit. Thanks, Math Mallow, for resubscribing. Big love to you. Dudlife says also, wait, you're actually talking about 40k and not some obscure Canadian lore. Well, Pete, you've had a week off having to talk about Drukari, right? So like we didn't mention it at all last week. So
yeah, we did our best. Listen, I'm with you, Dudlife. I'm real with you. I don't want to. Tired. Real tired.
You don't have to. There's new AdMech, which brings
me
to
this.
Yo, let's talk about that. The friggin' incredibly OP orc guy. So OP right now.
Stop reading titles of YouTube videos and then not watching the whole thing.
I didn't even watch 1 minute of it. From Toronto, though, that guy.
Is he?
I didn't even look at his YouTube video. I immediately was like, who is this fucking guy? And
oh, man, Neil, you don't... that's a good... I had a good laugh at seeing that one. I liked that.
Could you explain the situation to us, please, Pete?
There was a there was a 6-round RTT in Sweden last weekend, and it was supposed to have a bunch of like the WTC guys. I do believe many still showed up, like Daniel Hesselberg and Rickard Nilsson. And it was supposed to be day 1, 3 rounds, and then they were going to cut to a top 8 and do like a single elimination top 8 going into day 2, and then they changed the format partway through the event. So Drukari, which was the only undefeated army after all 6 rounds, came in second because they switched it to battle points.
Bold. That's
now like To be fair, the TO is new, and he just wanted to make sure everybody had a fun time on day 2 and didn't just travel to play one game. But I thought that was super cute. But like the guy that actually beat everybody there came in second because they switched the tournament the way the tournament played partway through.
Wow, that's a bold strategy. I'd like to maybe, Val, how do you feel about that? Like, I know you're looking for some standardized TO engagement, making sure all the lists are in right, making sure the stats are done, like, the inner circle within the outer circle. Like, how do you how do you feel about changing it up? Something you're going to advocate for?
I've long been an outspoken battle points are dumb person. I've never been a big guy on battle points, so no, Rob, I'm not taking your bait.
It's not bait. It's just a genuine question. I'm full of enthusiasm and love today. I promise. I promise.
Yeah, that's what you're always full of.
Did you happen to see any of the pictures of the actual, because I was watching Rickard. So Rickard Nielsen is a very quality AdMech player. I think they came second in the ITC last year for AdMech. I'm not quite sure. Something like
He
that.
did, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he is a very good AdMech player. He has been the best AdMech player until these last recent weeks in the 9th edition as well. So
yeah, so I looked at the boards. There were pictures of the boards, and I can only describe them as not great. Is
Sparse?
how I would say. Sparse. Yeah, he
Scandinavian?
Was like, the tundra of Sweden is how I would describe it. And and he was like, "I've gone first. Here's a picture." And everyone was like, "Ooh." The next round, he's like, "I've gone first again." Like, it was just painful, I think, in some of those situations, which is like a core component, I think, of the game so far. Like, did the events in America? Did you happen to see any of the pictures? And was the terrain, would you say, up to scratch?
Oh yeah, I think I'm wondering, like, something I've been thinking about a lot recently with the talk of, like, there's rumors that maybe Drukhari weren't considered super amazing in testing, and so I often wonder, like, what's our terrain like now? Are we too heavy? Like, did we go overboard compared to what people expected us to play? Is that part of the problem? Is that why, like, people thought AdMech would be a bigger deal? I mean, they are very strong into Drukhari. It's not like, it's very clear they are, but when you look at what AdMech are changing to, losing a strength on their Scorpius Disintegrator, which is like the main thing they use to kill raiders, that's huge, going down to strength 5, so they're now wounding on 5s, things like that. It makes you wonder, like, is terrain just supposed to be lighter? Probably not Tundra version, but like maybe it's supposed to be more of like the old school LVO terrain, which is a little bit lighter than we're seeing at most tournament tables right now.
I mean, but then that brings in the problem that maybe that's the solution. I don't know. Like, maybe there's that. I think it's an ongoing conversation about terrain and how that's going to affect the different metas and the matchups, which I'm quite hype about watching. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm smart enough to know, like, what if there's a definitive answer, or if actually, Val, I don't know about you. Do you prefer the variety? Like, because that might be genuinely something that's quite cool. Is that, like, it's kind of one of the things we do when we do the Age of Sigmar Stats Center show is we always talk about the pack in of itself before we talk about the results, like, because it's like in integral part. Like, we're like 2.7, like 2.75 hour rounds. There's this not comp, but sometimes it's like you don't play in the realms or you don't do a thing. There's certain bits and aspects, so we kind of mention it before we talk about the results, and we also talk about the battle plans, and as to whether or not they may have affected, because they're slightly different to the 40k battle plans in that some of them really do affect how some armies can perform. And I think the 40k ones don't change that. I don't know.
I'm going to hearken to an analogy I think we love on the show, which would be American baseball. And in American baseball, they have inside of the league 2 different leagues with slightly different rules, and every stadium or field has slightly different dimensions, which is strange, which actually has a massive impact on how many home runs you hit and all kinds of stuff like that. But, like, fundamentals are always the same. So you always have 4 bases and a diamond. But like how far you got to carry a ball to actually get a home run is different up depending on where you are, which is really, really strange. A cricket pitch, for example, is always drawn with the same comically large protractor, traditionally, before every game. Whereas baseball fields can be different. So I think that's what I would like to see. I would like to see I would still like a base level of sameness with some weirdness on the margins. That's what I would like.
Is there a difference between home? Is it home base plate? I don't know.
Home plate. No, you screwed up that sentence on purpose. You knew it was home plate. Go ahead.
I did not know it was home plate. We don't play baseball here. What about first plate?
Oh, sorry. Rounders.
Rounders. When we finish giving blankets out to all of the native populations, we play rounders to get there.
Just to kill some time. Just to kill some time. I'm pretty sure Rounders is the proto-baseball game that they say it came from. Anyway, continuing.
Apparently, you need to be nice about cricket. I'm hearing apparently cricket's fine, but cricket's vary a lot, and apparently not a pitch. Yeah, Tomb King Kristen also they're not cricket pitches. I thought they were pitches. Anywho, they're fields. Yeah,
they're fields. Aha.
Are they? Yeah,
I don't know.
So.
That sounds like someone who doesn't know sports saying things.
Can I anecdotally take you through a journey of me playing cricket as a child? Very quickly. So I played for my county for playing cricket as a kid. All right, nice. Yeah,
professional, yeah.
So I was an opening batsman, so pretty good at whacking a thing, which is a theme I carried through to my life. And also I was the wicket keeper, which is the fella.
Are you allowed to say that on Twitch? Wicket keeper? Can I call Nurgle Matthew that?
Yeah, he's your
wicket keeper?
Yeah, he's my wicket keeper.
Thank you, Nurgle Matthew. I like it.
But we were small boys. We were like 10-ish, 11-ish. And my friend Phil was the opening bowler. He was he was the good bowler on my team. And me and Phil kind of hit pubescence hard. We both became big 6-footers really quick by the time we were 12 or 13. So I would always stand right behind the wickets. And then the fast ball would come in and I'd grab it. But as Phil got taller and much, much stronger, those fast balls became much faster. And it really wasn't and I didn't in any way improve my motor skills fast enough.
Yeah.
So a couple of edges. So batsman tries to hit the ball and he just slices it a little bit, and then just taking the ball full to the face. And I finally grew up and moved further back from the wicket. It's a long story. Not really.
Were you wearing a cage at least?
You mean the face mask?
Yeah.
No, because I was a small boy and I thought that they were for cowards.
Yeah. They still are. That hasn't changed.
This was the mid-90s. I like that they have learned to protect the batsman, but everyone else on the field or pitch or whatever. Okay? And apparently it's an oval and it's variably sized. Basically, no anecdote I mentioned about cricket was accurate.
I mean, the pitch is true. It is a pitch. It's very similar to the baseball diamond, however.
So the diamond is saying the pitch is specifically the middle.
Yeah, just like the baseball diamond
that's fair.
Doesn't change.
I like that.
Diamond.
I like that.
Can I just? Thank,
everyone barehanded catching in cricket doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get that.
What barehanded?
I don't know why they all wear sweater vests.
The batsman looks like he's dismantling a bomb in Baghdad, and everyone else is just wearing a jockstrap.
And a sweater vest. They all have sweater vests on.
I've
watched a lot of cricket, and the sweater vest is their jersey of choice.
I want to ask you more about cricket because there's some really interesting things in that. Can I thank Nurgle Matthew again for being our wicket keeper on the show and donating another 10 gift subscriptions, which is just very lovely of you. That's amazing. Did you? Because I assume you're talking about cricket because you've seen the difference between Test cricket and 2020 cricket and the rise of popularist. Obviously, we're in a generation of popularism, right? Be it politics, be it cricket. Apparently, how do you guys feel about that?
Well, I think it's kind of funny that they made the game more popular just by shortening it. I think we made this joke when Ninth was announced. I think we started talking. We did this bit when Ninth was announced.
Damn it. We're covering old ground. This is bad. It's like a repeat, though. It's when you watch the Jim Jeffries gun control bit. It's nice watching again.
Do you think that perhaps people would be more interested in this game if it was shorter?
If it didn't last several days, that would be great.
Let's make it one day.
Yeah. Well, and we get up at 9, maybe 10 a.m. as opposed to 7:30 a.m.
Yeah, what is this? Yeah. 9, 10 a.m. Apparently, the most controversial thing I've ever said on this show was that we should get up later for tournaments.
What?
Get up later?
Yeah,
but
that's you and me, Pete, were on the same page. We're like, tournaments should start 9, 10 a.m. And then Val's like, no, 7:30 a.m., 15-minute breaks only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No bathrooms. Screw off.
Hey, you can't stink up the toilet if you're not allowed to go to it, right?
Yeah, that's true. Very, very, very Wehrmacht of you.
As the lead producer of the Ocho, soon to be FLGN Live, which is usually located next to the toilets, I'd prefer it if people don't use them as often.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. As a commentator who was also always put next to the toilets at every event, agreed. It's whenever you get, like, I could be in any country in the fucking world, and they're like, so this is your table. I'm like, the one next to the toilets. Appreciate you. Like,
But they always think they're doing you a solid. They're always like, see, we got direct access. Like, what do you think we do what do you think we're eating at the table? Like, we're just like barfing down burritos, getting ready. Like, oh, can't wait to destroy this one. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where's my beans?
Get me them Timbits and coffee. My question is,
go ahead.
Yes.
Do you honestly not think that the game tournament scene and coverage would be better if the armies were smaller, like 1,500, not 1,750?
100%. Oh, I'm with you 100%. You got to go to 15, or I don't know about lower than that, but 15 would be great.
Do it.
I actually ran at our local stupid gaming club. I ran a test event because they're very competitive, 40K suspicious. And I also really wanted to try out 1,500, so we ran a 1,500 point event. It was great, and that was 8th edition, but it was great.
Okay.
I don't know why people refuse to even consider it like the smaller
toys.
game.
They're toys. You're removing their freedom. They need as much freedom as they can get under 2,000 points.
And like, yeah. I don't know. And GW had the opportunity to sort of deflate points. Or inflate points. I guess you're inflating points because you're getting less toys for your models. But I don't know. Rob, I'm not disagreeing with you today. This is unfortunate.
I really just don't care as long as everybody does it.
Yes.
Like, everybody needs to step in line. I want uniformity. I want nobody to have any kind of imagination.
Like
Agreed.
1,500 points. I think we'll see what we can do to find ways to try it out. But 1,500 points, I think, just makes anytime you have to make more decisions, like harder decisions, I think you make it a better game. Like you just raise the stakes. There's less redundancy, all that stuff.
Nikos hates it. Nikos is in the chat losing his mind. Just like I've never seen somebody more against something in my life.
What if you just push it the other way? Not 1,500, 4,000. Only 2 games a day.
2 games a day, 4,000 points. I don't think you're going to get 2 games in at 4,000 points.
Okay. All right. Then 3,000, 3,250.
There we go. I like it.
1,850. That's how they wound up with that stupid number, I guess.
Yeah, they did. That's a weird number to end up at, right?
That was the end of 7th. Standard was 1,850. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think dropping. I understand it. People are like, I want to use all my toys, but like I think it would be a more productive game for people, and there'd be more. Each thing would be more relevant and more important. I guess it kind of like negates.
Try it on your Super Series, man. When you start doing 40K,
nah, I've got to pitch it to the flubs, and I've got to get like everyone in the US to watch. So I've got to be like, hey. I've got to use small words and just the things that they know.
But no, you don't. Like, remember, like no one watches. Like we But seriously, like even like a well attended live 40K event right now we're still on the beginning. Like so, like as the broadcasters are, as far as like broadcasters are concerned, you can be a bully because if you find a format that people really really like, it can reverse engineer it the other way. So yeah, man. I mean, fuck, one weekend, try it.
Maybe.
See how it goes.
Maybe. Like it'd be interesting. Obviously, we have events here at the arena. Someone's telling me to shout them out. We are putting some more tickets on sale this week. I think.
Oh, really?
We sold out the first month, so now we're just going to put tickets on sale for the second month. So that's going to be fun. We've got a pretty interesting matchup. Zach from the LGT and also Logan from the show, who I know Val, you're a big fan of, both attending the first 4K singles.
I think he's probably catching on to the fact that I'm just being nice to him, so he doesn't call me names anymore. But that's good.
Oh, he calls you names?
He doesn't call names. He makes some references to things that he thinks I do that are cheesy, but that's fine.
He's like, you're a poopy butt.
I don't
know what Logan sounds like, so I assume he talks like that.
It's the suits.
Yeah?
It's the suits, I think, is the issue.
Yep. So cut off T-shirts and whatever the kids are wearing. We'll just have a bunch of band
side
tees.
Bags.
Cool.
Get the side bags.
Mm-hmm. Side bags. Oh yeah.
I was talking to someone earlier, and I know I've mentioned on the show before, but if we could just as a community, just ban off beige cargo shorts,
Oh man, no, dude.
What?
What am I gonna do? What am I gonna wear?
Peter's closet is like Batman, where you open it and it's just Batman costumes, except just beige cargo shorts.
Cargo. I have one pair of army camo green cargo shorts, and the rest are beige. What am I gonna wear? I have 2 pairs of jeans. I suppose I could wear sweats.
What's wrong with those?
You can't wear jeans in the summer. I can barely wear jeans in the winter. I want my legs to be free.
Okay.
My legs to be free. Okay. People need to see these things, these gams.
I can't remember.
Are you allowed to say gams on Twitch?
Yeah, you can.
What am I not allowed? I'm gonna have to look up this list of things. I'm a little sad.
Yeah.
I can't remember when it happened, but there was some point where popular culture just turned against cargo shorts hard, and I eliminated the lower pocket for my shorts immediately. I did not. I no longer wore cargo shorts.
It's too bad.
I only wear jeans, or jean shorts,
or as they call it in the pandemic, hard pants.
Oh yeah, of course, because the Zoomers don't respect anyone in jeans now.
This is what I hear.
Yeah. So maybe
never trust someone over 30 or wearing jeans.
Yeah, so you need to, if you want the FLGN to really connect with the younger audience, you're going to need to, well, number one, stop retweeting whatever he tweets about 80s movies that 7 people have seen, because number one, but I like them. I'm like, fuck yeah, Reese, love that. But number two, it's got to be getting some tapered jogger sort of ongoing. You need your hosts in those. I feel like the world is coming to 40K tournament couture. I think the pajama pant, track pant, aside from the beige cargo short, probably the most dominant lower leg covering at a tournament. Not the baggy ones though. Not like you're a problematic coach in a high school in America, sort of baggy.
Gotcha.
Cool. More I think tapered.
Yep.
I'm not okay. I'm not here for that.
I see it.
But could I make a suggestion maybe for the FLGN? Maybe some sort of fashion segment.
A little FLGN fashion, maybe that. There's a show. I think we can do that. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Okay. I just throw that in there.
I'm putting it on the segment. I'm pulling up my segments document here, and I'm putting it in. Tournament fashion. Okay. Tournament fashion week here on the FLGN.
I'd be willing to host if that helps you in any way, shape, or form. That one for free.
I mean, yes. I don't know if it helps me, but sure. Yeah.
Well, if we wanted to learn a lesson from our Swedish friends, a lot of the lads from Gothenburg tend to wear kilts to tournaments.
Oh,
the only guy
are these the utility kilts?
I was gonna say,
no, not the utility kilts. No,
I was gonna say because that's a real douche move.
Agreed.
At Warzone Atlanta once, there was a fella in a utility kilt. I think he's one of the Dangly boys, and he was easily the drunkest person outside of Nick Nanavati I've ever seen at an event. Just wasted in a kilt. And I feel like that's high stakes, man.
I told you my story about the Swedish fellas with the kilts that that showed me the card trick. Have I told you this story before?
The card
trick?
trick or card trick?
Card trick. So I was doing coverage in Stockholm. I was at Krugslantan, and Jesper came over to me with a bunch of other huge Swedish men, all in kilts, with childlike smiles on their faces. All of me. I'm in the commentary booth, and like in between rounds, and they're like, "Can we show you a card trick?" And I'm like, and they were all smiling in the way that you're like, yes. The answer is obviously yes. I will go through whatever this process is going to be. Takes me through the card trick, and then he's like, "Is this your card?" And then I say no, and then he lifts up his kilt where he's wearing no underwear, and then the tattooed card on his penis, he's like, "Is this your card?" And I was like, "Yes, that is my card."
I almost blew the lead on this because I was just going to be like, they showed you their penis. Like, we could have just... Because that is exactly where my mind went. It's like, this is where this is going. Like, because that's what happens with all kilt stories. He showed you his penis or his whole butt. I just want to show you my whole butt.
All of it. And then I saw everything.
See, black hole sun, won't you come? Wash away.
What's happening with let's stay on fashion. I'm staying on it because I don't care.
Okay.
What about like sports tops, teams jerseys? Like, because we see that a lot. The Art of War guys, they've got team jerseys.
They're not good looking though. Those are bad looking jerseys. That's my take of the other day. AOW jerseys, yeah, they're not iconic, and they're made of
poor design choice. Yeah.
Also, I gotta say that artificial fabric, like that like quick dry fabric, not comfortable and stinks. I don't know if you guys ever noticed this, but whenever I wear a quick dry shirt, like the odor just friggin' is extra stinky. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Like the sweat sticks with it forever.
Yes. Way worse. You you need cotton, guys. You need a cotton shirt. Keeps those brain sweats.
Yeah. But cotton doesn't show as much sponsorship is the problem.
That is a problem. Also, yeah.
You can't get that like lacrame sponsorship on that. Just won't
they
work,
dress like F1 drivers, but don't smell that way.
Well, F1 drivers...
I don't know. Have you smelled a F1 driver after a race?
It's pretty as often as I can, but I'm banned from the track.
I think we should all have fire retardant jumpsuits. That's what we should be wearing, and full helmets.
Yep,
full face helmets at all GW events. Let's do this.
Well, couldn't we bring this back to it being cricket outfits?
Sweater vests and khaki pants. I'm into it.
I feel like bowling shirts and cargo shorts are probably the appropriate attire of a 40K tournament.
Gross. Absolutely gross. Like Kingpin.
Great film. Underrated, I'd say. Watched Dumb and Dumber the other day, as a matter of fact. My wife claimed to never have seen it. Laughed my balls off all the way through. Not 1 minute not laughing. Also,
Dumb and Dumber, one of the first movies to prove that critics didn't know what they were talking about. It was a big deal.
Did they say it was not good?
Almost all critics said that Dumb and Dumber was one of the worst movies ever made. And then it wrecked everywhere.
Also, something that's interesting about Dumb and Dumber is, and I only noticed it on this recent watching, is that Jim Carrey acts his balls off. There are like all of these moments where he is just so committed to the moment, and he's just, you can tell, like desperate to be a real actor. Mm-hmm. And I'd never noticed that was showing, because then you get Cable Guy, I think almost immediately after this, then you see him really trying to be a real actor. And anyway, I never noticed it.
If you ever watched the behind the scenes of Man on the Moon, he was really trying to be a real actor in that, and he was a dick.
He was crazy. Piece of garbage on that set. Yeah.
He was trying to method act, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. Real bad.
Just to kind of bring up critics are right or wrong, and then the other way around. I challenge you both. I challenged my co-host last night on the Age of Sigmar show to watch The Lighthouse with Stephen. Oh no, it's got that fella from Twilight in, and then
it's got Willem Dafoe and that fella from Twilight. Yes.
Yeah. Have you seen it already? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's the black and white one, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Have you watched it, Val?
No, but I know it by reputation. It's like an absurdist art film, essentially.
It's maybe the worst movie I've ever seen.
Oh, really? Okay, because it definitely got. Okay, by the way, Dumb and Dumber tomato meter 68%. So not.
I just remember Siskel and Ebert saying it was terrible.
Well, they were the only movie reviews at the time was Siskel and Ebert. It's the only way you knew how to do it in the 90s.
What did you think of it, Pete? The Lighthouse, just to throw us really off track, and maybe I'll bring us back.
I mean, it was weird. I only watched it because I saw the Independent Film Spirit Awards, and Aubrey Plaza's version of it was amazing. So I was like, oh, I gotta watch it.
Did you realize what kind of independent film awards you were watching as you started that show, or did you intend to?
It was just like on my YouTube recommendations. I was like, let's see what this is all about.
All
So
right.
I've watched it every year for 3 years now.
I watched it in
Except
the
this year was
cinema,
bad.
and it was bad. I watched it in the bad. Oh, you talking
You
about
went
the
to a
awards?
movie
Sorry.
theater?
This was before COVID, of course. Although we're allowed to go to movie theaters again, and that is very on my list of things to go and do again.
Oh, wow. So the reason why I thought The Lighthouse was this year is because I watched a YouTube video of William Dafoe talking about all of his roles, and he plugged it at the end, and I was like, this sounds like a great movie. Can't wait till it comes out. But that was 3 years ago.
Well, some people in the chat think I'm wrong, and then Falcon thinks that I am.
Yeah, I didn't think it was anything special. I thought it was, being very artsy. So I didn't think it was terrible. I didn't like throw up in my mouth or anything while I watched it.
I did.
I also watched a very detailed YouTube video on the production of the lens for that lighthouse. I think it was like a Vox thing. So essentially, like the lenses in those lighthouses are pretty cool little pieces of 19th century engineering. And so there's like one guy in, I want to say either Georgia or South Carolina who still like makes and maintains them for all of the original lighthouses that exist. And they made a custom crystal for the lighthouse. And I watched a whole video about that. Wow. Most adjacent thing I've ever said here.
When I was a teenager, my first real job was to work at a place called Cape and Rage, Cap en Roger. And it had a lighthouse. It was the second oldest lighthouse in Canada. Oh. And it was a little tourist destination. So I would greet people, tell them about everything. And
were
one
you a
of my
historical interpreter? Like, were you in costume?
No, I had to wear beige khaki shorts and an evergreen shirt with a picture of the lighthouse on it. And I'm not joking about the beige khaki shorts. That was part of we had to buy those to work there. You had to pay money. And part of my job outside of greeting people and explaining the historical references around the place was to clean around the lighthouse. We weren't allowed inside it. And when it got foggy, I would have to put on headphones because there's this big deck in front of the lighthouse and the foghorn was on it and it would go off, but I still had to clean it. And it would go 3 toots and then you had like 15 seconds before the next. So you'd have to run up, sweep for like 10 seconds, and then run back down the stairs and wait for it to go off because it was so loud it would like shake your body and blow out your eardrums. Whoa. And then you had to run back up and do it again. So I got a lot of exercise. I was in like fucking peak shape doing shit like that at that place. And then I got fired for putting a box on my head and cutting a happy face into it and greeting people like that for a day, which they said wasn't very professiontional. All right. Only job I've ever been fired from. And they were like, man, you really shouldn't have put that box on your head. I was like, well, what can I do?
That sounds, I love, were you also banned from that territory?
No. They were just like, please don't come back here. Just like PEI. If you could, we can't stop you from coming, but if you could just not. I was like, okay, I guess.
He can only visit so many, a handful of tourist destinations left that he's allowed to go to in the Maritimes at this point.
Yeah. We just free pooper like me. There's a lot of places that just don't want you.
Talking about great stories.
Uh-huh.
This Saturday, the Warhammer animations are back. Fucking nailed a segue.
Is that real?
Nailed it. Yeah, it's back. Yeah, they're doing a preview of the Warhammer animations on Saturday.
Oh, it's a preview. It's not that they're actually happening.
Well, no, but we might get a timeline about when they might be happening.
Nah. Timeline? Nah. Come on.
What?
Nah.
Maybe.
When have they ever released a timeline?
They do it for Necromunda and Underworlds.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they do that for us? That'd be nice.
Why would they do that for their largest game system and subsidiaries? It's a great question. Maybe it's in the app. None of us have just clicked the right bit on the app yet.
Here's a question: Is Underworlds a specialist game and covered by Forge World? Like, where? I wonder where they. Because it's a specialist game, or is it a core game? It's a core game, isn't it?
Or is it? Hear the scuttlebutt?
Yeah.
Okay, so just us three, us three, and no one else.
Oh wait,
many coffees were drank in a cafe in Nottingham for this. So everybody listening,
the entire specialist games department has imploded. Someone was fired, and there's a complete rejig of the entire rules teams. All of it. That's the scuttlebutt. Might not be true, but that's the hot gossip. So. Who knows?
I feel like Games Workshop is like the studio is run by Puff Daddy, and he just walks in every day and goes, "I'm shutting the studio down," and then they all have to like go do a hilarious Easter egg hunt, and then they're allowed to keep the studio open.
Yeah, makes sense. Just
so
like
Dave
an
Chappelle
MTV
reference, guys, to an MTV show. It was a double reference. That was a
real
good
deep
one.
cut. Real deep cut. You did it. I'm proud of you.
As a deep cut as the blankets, but still very deep. It was
Val thinks these up weeks in advance. He's like, how am I going to fit this on the show?
Baby, on the fly. Also, I've been waiting to tell you guys for a long time that I'm disappointed that both you two and the chat both failed to notice that I incorrectly identified the Minister of Propaganda as Goring when it's Gobbles.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I don't know the job titles of everyone in the Wehrmacht, so
yeah,
weird that you do.
Just saying. Derailed the conversation again with Nazis.
Excuse me. Clip.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it.
Goebbels. I didn't even say it right.
Anne of Green Gables.
Anne of Green Gables.
We're not going back to Anne of Green Gables. There was a YouTube comment, like a long one on that, and I don't need to hear anymore.
They were. Oh, okay. I did read that. Someone sent me that because they were very mad that I didn't call her boyfriend Gilbert. Right? Was this the guy?
Yeah, this is the guy. They were very
mad that it wasn't Gilbert, but he's Gilbert, and I get it. It's just a stupid name. Yeah. Anne of Green Gables. What are you gonna do, Rob? Listen, when next time you come to Canada. I'm gonna have to pay to get you to do like one of the maritime events, the like 1 week a year, and you can cover it, and it'll be super shitty. But I'm gonna take you to Anne of Green Gables. I'll take you to PEI. I'll do it. I'll drive you there. We'll go across the.
Who's my buddy from Nova Scotia? Oh fuck. The guy. He's
Todd Wall.
Yeah. Todd Wall. We'll get Todd Wall to show you around. He'll friggin' take you for a tour on Canada's Navy. One of our cruisers, destroyer, can't remember.
Do you have a navy? I know that's a rude thing to ask, but like, is it like?
Yeah,
we have some ships. We actually bought 4 diesel submarines from the UK about 20 years ago, and I think one of them caught fire and sunk recently.
Yep, as would expect.
You would expect. So the suggestion in the chat is that maybe the reason we haven't got a roadmap is because, and thanks for the offer, Pete, by the way, really appreciate it.
Well, I'm going to do it.
Because 40k doesn't have any roads, maybe that's it's as simple as that. Which makes sense.
We don't need them.
But are you guys not excited about the animations? Because I think as a medium, because Pete, you're big into the Black Library stuff, and Val, you randomly sometimes into the Black Library stuff, or generally?
I try. I dabble every now and then. Like I start listening to an audiobook and then I stop. I just can't listen to fiction. I don't know why. I need to be learning about.
No, don't Val.
No, don't say it.
No. Step back.
Uh-huh.
Step back. We need a wicket keeper. We need a wicket keeper.
I need to be learning about historical facts.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, are you guys not excited at least? Because this is an easier medium than an audiobook, I guess. Because I struggle with audiobooks as well, Val. Like, I really do. I try very hard. I'm currently halfway through Penitent by is it Dan Abnett or is it?
Yes.
I think. Yeah, Dan Abnett. Yeah, so halfway through that, and I'm really enjoying it. But it's like I just struggle like to do audiobooks. I like reading. Sit down and read, no problem. But like,
I think Abnett's books in particular should be read. He writes like Thomas Dixon, like that's his style, and it's meant to be read. I don't think it's meant to be listened to. Dixon was the famous author of the Hardy Boys series, who developed the multiple crisis point writing style to force people to continue reading a book when they would normally put it down.
Wild. So a bit like Gods and Monsters, not that one. I don't mean that. Dan Brown with the Da Vinci Code, sort of.
Yeah.
Like
So at the end of
cliffhanger
every
all the time.
chapter, whenever at the end of every chapter, there's a climax, and then there's like a penultimate climax that you're trying to get to. But you need to read the next chapter because at the end of the chapter you just read, the guys almost died. So you had to find out if they lived. And that's what he does with all of his books. Like if every Eisenhorn book, at the end of every chapter, it's like, and then this Chaos Space Marine was going to rip off his head, ... And you're like, okay, well, did it? I mean, obviously it didn't. So we got to turn the page, keep figuring out what the fuck's going on.
So, I think animation is a great format, obviously. Like all the biggest, if you look at YouTube, if you look at the YouTube, all of the most popular Warhammer 40K related things are all like fan made animations, either using like Unity or Unreal or whatever the hell the Stardust guy was doing. So yeah, there's like tremendous demand for that content, and it's going to be cool when they finally release them.
Yeah, okay, yeah, and that's this weekend. So, like, I'm actually genuinely very excited about that. I think also the launch of the Admech book as well, so maybe there's something else to talk about other than Drukhari would be so fun.
Oh, man. I will say the preview for Admech didn't get my Ghiblies up, but I'm hopeful and I'm waiting.
Because all my Admech are painted orange, so...
Nice.
Yeah. I was like, let's go. I don't.
Franklin W. Dixon. Sorry. Thank you, Kill Panic. Yes, Thomas Dixon was also a different person.
Well, I have to head out today because I've got a set of bunk beds to build.
Well, it's I've got 12:58 GMT right now, and we still haven't talked about Zodrog, Zogreg. What's his name?
I didn't want to throw you under the bus because earlier on you... Like, this is, I was going to say, you were like, Val Heffelfinger, quote, there was a video about Zodbrog that I did not watch at all. However, did watch a deep dive on how to make a lens for a lighthouse for several minutes.
Priorities, man. Also, I know I read the article. This guy is looks like it's going to be sad. It looks like it will be released and instantly very sad about how terrible Zodrog is.
Yeah. I mean, is he meant to be good? He's just in the box set. It doesn't matter. Like, as long as the Snagger boys are great, then who cares?
Well, I mean, it'd be cool if there was a way to, like he's got a rule called Super Runts, and all it does is give 1 unit +1 to hit.
Oh, is that... have we seen that rule?
Yeah, no, they had a little teaser for him yesterday.
Oh, nice. I missed that completely. How did I miss that? Okay. Wild.
I mean, he could wind up being like a 50-point HQ or something. So like that like he might be useful in just like a filler role. But yeah, it's just a bummer. He's a bummer, man.
Yeah, I mean, name characters really much of a big deal that aren't like big boys anyway, and even the big boys aren't like seen much. Like, are they name characters?
I feel like Gazgul's got play.
Yeah, Gazgul. Yeah, but I'll put him in the big boy category, right?
Yeah. Oh, I see. Other than that, name characters. Yeah. In general or orc specifically?
I think in general, like I know Mephiston sees some play. Drazar, like who are like smaller characters, I guess. But like name characters like a thing. Who's that? Tarman Gadon? No, that's the Wheel of Time. Who's the Imperial Fistfighter? You never see him.
You never see him. You never see Torgadon. You never see, or whatever the freak his name is. You see Magnus. You see Morty. You see Gaz occasionally. Drazar is in every Drukhari list. Who else has played?
Mephiston?
No, Mephiston's never played. You'll see Dante more than you'll see Mephiston.
Oh wow.
Mephiston's really bad compared to just taking a generic librarian.
Also, I just want to complain a bit more about Zogrod, in that he also has a Squigstoppa rule, in which he has the Fight Last ability, which goes off on a 2+ and only affects monsters.
Yep.
Why?
Yep. I mean, Fight Last is already messed up. It's a terrible rule that they screwed up so badly. I don't know why they keep trying to shoehorn it into things without fixing it first. But
well, that's
a whole other story.
We had that in Age of Sigmar. We call it the activation wars. If you guys want to steal that term, So it's a quality, and it was rampant. So we had the activation wars, and now we had that for about a year, but like it was such a clusterfuck that like everyone kicked off all the time. Like it was consistent. So I think they've pulled back on this, but we now have the pile-in wars, which might be something for you guys to maybe have in the future. Although you guys have kind of had it with like Space Wolf, Heroic Intervention, and other stuff. So we've now got units that are piling in an additional 3 inches, like without even charging in some cases. We've also got them piling away from the closest units, which is wild, or not allowing you to pile in at all is another kind of key one. So like they seem to be exploring that piece of design space. Haven't said that recently. So that seems to be something that they're on vogue with, which I'm not too comfortable with. Like I still think like the core mechanic of just like I move my stuff and then I do my charges and then you move your stuff and you do the same is fine. I think there being Nexus stuff around that is quite complicated, I would argue, but like not very fun for new people, I'd say.
Yeah, the problem with 40K right now is the always fight last rules are almost universally written differently, like each one. So some of them, you don't know which ones actually work the way they're supposed to, and it just causes a whole kerfuffle because some people read differently into each one, like whether you can interrupt a fight with this one or not, et cetera, et cetera. So it just becomes a whole rigmarole that gets people really frustrated.
Yeah, super annoying. Yeah, same. We had that same. We had units that struck first. We had units that struck first before first. We had units that struck first based on another ability. We had an FAQ. We had a post FAQ where it was your turn, I turn, and then effects that were applied earlier in the phase based on the player's turn. A guy called Nick from the South London Legion, Nico. He wrote like a treatise. I think maybe it's one of the reasons the Wehrmacht was formed. Actually, like it was that particular treatise.
Oh, really?
Like, just circle it back.
Mind Pilot, I believe it was called.
It was long.
Oh, no.
It was pretty tough. Anyway, have you guys got any shout outs before we head out today?
Yes, I do. Yes. I brought up Outward Realms like a couple months back as a game that my buddy was creating that I helped in the early stages of. It launched yesterday. It already met its Kickstarter goals. But if you want to get in on the action early, you should go check it out. Outward Realms Kickstarter. You can buy all sorts of really cool packs, and the first 4 armies are already available. Looks super sweet.
One of them is named by.
Yes, I named one of the factions.
Hey!
I helped with the history of one of them and a little bit of another.
I think it was called Faction Face. Was that what?
Faction Face. Yeah, I put it to a vote. Probably a poor decision. But you know me, I'm a very democratic person. It's what I hold to. So yeah, it's really awesome. Really happy for my buddy Michael Timpe from High Lords of Terra for putting it together, getting his stuff on the go, and yeah, any support you can give him will be great. The game, Play on Tabletop did a video, like a tutorial video of a skirmish game of it. It is super tight. I really like how it plays. So.
Nice. We'll include the link in the show notes, and I'll also put it out on our other mediums as well. So that'll be good. Good that the Play on Tabletop guys have hit it because they've got such a big audience. That's great. That's cool.
They've been doing a lot of collabs and cross promotion stuff. I've been really happy to see that. Actually, it's been cool.
Cool guys. Everyone in Canada, it seems, is, in my opinion.
Not true.
Well, not that one guy from the Maritimes.
Nope, definitely not that guy.
Val, who's your shout out for? You got a shout out? Big ups?
Well, shout out to a successful Kickstarter. Rightful Ruler was funded at the lowest level, so we're going to get a tool, which is great. So we'll see what Rob does, everything that Rob hates about it. It's going to be awesome to hear him complain about
I don't hate it.
The amazing AR stuff that we have.
I loved the idea when I heard about it 2 years ago. Like, it was great. So
Time is a flat circle.
Yeah.
Cool. Still into it. Just like I'm still into Angela Lansbury. Another shout out to Angela. I hope you're doing okay.
My question is, Gitley has asked, will it be available in 1080p, Val?
Angela Lansbury? Oh.
The app, but Angela, obviously.
Actually, it's very clearly labeled that it requires 1080p to function properly. So anyone not using 1080p might have some trouble.
I want to talk to those Yanks, because they... big news, 1080p over there still. It's going to be good. A Lands fans emote. I'm not doing this.
Rob.
Yeah.
Rob.
Oh, God.
Needs
He's
to
using
happen.
that tone. Okay. All right. Fine.
Lance fan and wicket keeper.
What's a Lance fan?
Lansbury fan.
Lansbury. Got it. I thought that was Lance.
You could say Landstan, because Stan is a thing, right? That's a thing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
stand
a
for
word.
the land.
You
Stand
guys
for the
explained
land.
that to me once. I remember that.
Yeah, Stan. Interesting that it became a thing now. Like so many years after that song was released.
I feel like Gen Z is just listening to our music and just horrified, and they listen to that and was like,
this is
whoa.
ironic now.
Yeah,
Who's Zoomers?
Is it Z? Zed? Whatever. Are they Zoomers? Is that what they are?
Yeah,
What are
Zoomers.
kids born in the 21st century? Is that Zoomies?
Yeah, Zoomers. That's what they're called.
Zoomies.
Zoomers
Zoom
was
daddies.
what boomers tried to like give themselves as a cool name for their aging generation up here in Canada.
Failed miserably.
Yep, sure did.
The Zoomers v the Boomers. Right, well, it's been a pleasure talking to you both. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone in the Twitch chat. Let's go raid someone and make someone's day. Val, I'm going to let you choose today. Do you want to go weird or do you want to go Warhammer? Weird. Okay, let's go do that.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. We're going to just chatting. Let's avoid all the ladies in hot tubs because they love hot tubs. Perfect. Tuesday. This is perfect. Okay, let's go do this. We're going to... I think someone's role-playing as an elf.
Such as life.
Such as life. And it's been a pleasure having you on. You're both wonderful human beings, and I love talking to you loads. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, especially all our fans in nursing homes. Thanks to everyone in the YouTubes who are thugs, and everyone on the podcast for staying hydrated. Thanks to everyone on Patreon. You guys are great. Talk to you soon. Bye.